There is a particular kind of discomfort that no one talks about honestly. The discomfort of being well dressed and still feeling invisible, of wearing your most elegant outfit and spending the entire evening hyper aware of your posture, your expression, whether you're taking up too much space or not enough. The clothes are right, the accessories are right, and yet something in the way you're holding yourself gives the whole thing away. Most women assume the solution is more confidence. Try harder, stand taller, fake it, but that is exactly the wrong direction. And the quieter truth isn't about confidence at all. It is about attention. Where you place it, what you do with it, and how that single shift changes the way every elegant outfit you own finally lands. And that is just the beginning of what we are going to talk about today. The outfit is not the problem. You have probably spent real time building a wardrobe that feels considered. A well-cut blazer and camel, trousers that drape exactly right, shoes chosen not for trend but for something quieter, a sense that they belong to a woman who knows herself, and in the mirror, alone, it all looks right, completely right. Here's what most people miss about this. The outfit was never the issue. Social anxiety doesn't live in the wardrobe. It lives in the nervous system, and it travels with you regardless of what you're wearing. The blazer cannot calm it. No amount of careful dressing reaches the place where that feeling actually lives. That doesn't mean the clothes don't matter. It simply means they cannot do this particular job alone. And ironically, understanding that limitation is the very thing that begins to dissolve it, because the real work starts somewhere most women never think to look. Anxiety has a silhouette. Nervousness has a silhouette. Most women don't know this, but the people around them do. In the wordless, instinctive way that humans have always read each other. It isn't dramatic. It's a shoulder that doesn't quite drop, a hand that reaches for a glass and sets it down without drinking, eyes that sweep the room once too often, searching for confirmation that everything is fine. Here is the quiet truth nobody tells you. Anxiety introduces itself before you speak. It arrives first, in the smallest physical decisions. How much space you allow yourself, whether your weight is settled or slightly, perpetually forward. And in an elegant outfit, those signals read louder, not softer. Because elegance draws the eye, and once the eye is drawn, it notices everything. That doesn't mean you are exposed. It simply means the body is worth paying attention to, far more than the clothes layered over it. But why those signals intensify specifically when the outfit is beautiful? That is where things get genuinely interesting. Why elegant clothes can make it worse. I want to be honest with you about something. I have put on a beautiful outfit, a pressed ivory blouse, wide leg trousers in warm cream, and felt more self-conscious than I ever did in jeans. Not less. More. The clothes raised something in me, a sudden awareness that I had made a quiet declaration about myself, and now I had to live up to it. Here is the detail that changes everything. That pressure is not a flaw. It is a completely logical response to a raised internal standard. A beautiful outfit is a statement, and statements, the anxious mind believes, invite scrutiny. That doesn't mean you stop making them. It simply means the statement needs to come from somewhere steadier than hope. And ironically, the solution runs in exactly the opposite direction from where most women instinctively look, not inward and not toward the mirror. The counterintuitive shift. The women you have watched move through a room in elegant clothes without a flicker of self-consciousness. Most people assume they simply feel confident. That confidence is the thing they have and you don't, but that framing is worth questioning. Now, here is the shift that makes all the difference. Those women are not thinking about themselves, not in that moment. Their attention has moved entirely outward, to the conversation, the room, the person across from them. Not the way their linen trousers are sitting, not whether they're smiling the right amount. Anxiety is always self-directed. It asks, how do I look? What do they think? Am I doing this right? Elegance worn with ease asks none of those questions. It is too busy being genuinely interested in something else. And ironically, that outward attention makes her more magnetic, because people feel immediately when someone is truly present with them. The body language. Nobody teaches stillness is the detail nobody teaches, not the frozen, held breath kind that signals its own anxiety. The other kind, the settled kind that says, without a single word, that this woman is not waiting for permission to be here. Here is where it gets interesting. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the absence of nervous movement. There is a difference between smoothing a silk sleeve once, deliberately, and smoothing it 4 times without realizing. Between glancing toward the door because you choose to, and glancing because something in you is always calculating the exit. Between a pause before answering that reads as thought, and one that reads as doubt. Deliberate movement in a structured dress or a tailored coat becomes part of the outfit itself. It reads as composure. It reads as someone who arrived with no intention of leaving early. That doesn't mean performing stillness. It simply means practicing it until the body believes it. How she relates to the room. And this is where everything else falls into place. Not in the wardrobe, not in the mirror, but in a decision most women have never been told they are allowed to make. The socially anxious woman is always auditioning. She walks in hoping to be accepted, confirmed, approved. The woman who wears her elegance lightly has already decided something different before she arrives. She has decided she belongs, not because the room told her so, because she told herself, quietly, privately, with the same matter-of-fact certainty she uses to choose her shoes. Here is what elegant women understand that others don't. Belonging is not a feeling you wait to receive. It is a position you take. And once that position is taken, the outfit stops being something you wear to be seen. It becomes something else entirely. The practice has a name. Quiet presence is not the boldness of the woman who commands every room. It is something subtler and, for many women, far more true. It is the daily, private decision to treat yourself as someone whose being here is not a question worth asking. Here's the detail worth slowing down for. Presence is rehearsed. It is practiced in small, unwitnessed moments. The pace at which you move through your own kitchen, the way you sit when no one is watching, the tone you use when you speak to yourself about yourself. Not the posture you perform in public, the posture you hold when the room is empty. That doesn't mean the anxiety disappears overnight. It simply means it no longer runs the show. If this is something you want to build from the ground up, I think how to look classy and elegant in 30 days will feel like a natural next step. It gives this exact shift a shape you can practice day by day from the inside out. And once that inner posture is yours, really yours, the elegant outfit stops being a costume you're trying to live up to. It becomes an expression of something already true. When the outfit becomes armor, you don't need. What changes when the inner work is done is not the clothes. The silk is still silk. The line of the jacket hasn't moved, but the woman wearing them has stopped needing them to speak for her. And that is precisely the moment they begin to speak most powerfully. Here's the quiet truth that brings everything full circle. The woman in that cream blazer, shoulders drawn in, eyes moving a little too quickly. She wasn't underdressed. She was underlived. The outfit was waiting for her to catch up. And this, more than any purchase or any perfectly chosen palette, is the real work of elegance, not acquisition, arrival. Elegance is not what you put on. It is what you step into. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you found something valuable to take with you. If you did, a simple like or a comment would mean the world to us. Until next time, bye everyone.